day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have the team that's tops here at St Andrews. They gotta give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever, let's hear it from the stand. So come on City, sing this song once more. We are the lads from the Delta. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We are the lads from the Delta.
Very good evening, ladies and gents. It is a Tuesday night. Yeah, Tuesday. We delayed one night because of the government announcement last night, which we thought you'd all like and need to hear. So here we are on a Tuesday night on the Tilton Talk Show, sponsored by Boyle Sports, the principal sponsor of Birmingham City Football Club, in conjunction, of course, with our good friends at Bawdsey Labour Club, SAS Autos, the Garrison Coffee Company. Right, okay. Got a special guest for you tonight, ladies and gents, one that we've not seen around for a while. Just debating a few minutes ago just how many years it was, and we can't really believe it. Introducing them tonight, Mr. Mark Adams.
Hello, evening, everybody. Happy New Year.
AKA Mr. Robe, Mr. Paul Hipkiss.
Good evening, all. Happy New Year.
And AKA Mr. Sheen. And of course, lovely Mrs. Brown. Of course, from myself, good evening. And Richard Dryden, ladies and gents. Richard Dryden.
Oh, Happy New Year.
Now, if I drop out, Chris, my computer's coming up saying I've got no internet connection. So if I drop out, I'll come back in as quick as I possibly can. Okay, the sad news, as always, first at the top of the show. We lost one of our own last week, Big Barry Austin, as I'm sure you've all seen all over Facebook. An absolutely iconic figure down the blues. 50, what was it, 50s, just over 50, wasn't he? Like that.
52, yeah.
Crazy. You know, we always used to be in the cops singing, Barry, give us a wave, and he always did every single time, stand up and give you a wave back, like one of our own. Barry Austin, rest in peace and keep right on. Also just heard some very sad news that Colin Bell has just passed away as well this afternoon after a short illness, non-COVID related. So thoughts are with all the families concerned. Okay, Adam Wilkes, one of our backroom staff, got to say a very big congratulations to you. Just become an uncle. His sister Sophie and partner Ben have just had a little baby boy at 6 a.m. this morning. Baby boy Jake, let's hope he grows up to be a blue now as well. Done, and congratulations from all the team. Right. Rant coming up. What is going on at our football club again? What is going on? The cops shut, the Tilton shut. The owners are in disarray. We ain't winning a game. Nothing is going right. This has to be more than players and or management. It is fundamentally rooted at the top of this football club, and it needs sorting. Paul.
Well, at the start of the season, the best analogy I can come up with, and you know Peter Kay's old jokes about dipping hobnobs and rich teas in hot drinks. Our defence at the start of the season was a hobnob, you know, being dipped into a hot drink. It was pretty, you know, it had a pretty solid foundation. We didn't look like conceding many goals. And over the last few games, we've turned into a rich tea. We're just crumbling every time we get attacked. You know, and we're conceding goals, making individual mistakes. Is it the manager's fault that, you know, Etheridge makes that mistake against Derby? All the errors that we're making, the pass from Clark Salter at Cardiff. You know, they just don't look like, when they're out there, they just don't look confident at all, do they? Especially at home. And it is concerning. Now, is changing the manager again the answer? Or do our problems delve much deeper than that? You know, I genuinely think that we could get Jurgen Klopp in tomorrow and he would still struggle.
Well, I can't remember the amount of times you've said that, Paul, over the last, however long. But
yeah,
I don't get it. You know what I mean? I mean, we've got a decent squad there. We've got a decent gaffer. I know a lot of people have called for his head and one thing or another, and I'm so like, you know, and I put a bit of a rant on the other night. Okay, I'd had a few too many whiskies by the sound of it.
Correct me if I'm wrong here.
I ain't got a problem with it, but for goodness sakes, you know, Well, 10 years this has been going on for. 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, right? But in any business, leadership starts from the top, doesn't it? From the CEO.
Well, it should do.
Yeah, and I just think that's our problem, in my opinion. That's been our problem all through this time. I mean, he's stunk the place out, hasn't he, for 4 years now, nearly, in my opinion. And I just think if we had a change in that position, it would just give everyone such a massive lift from top to bottom in the club, including the fans.
Richard, what was it like when you were there?
Well, I came at a time, I think there must have been about 10, 15 games left of the season. And Terry Cooper was there. He brought 4 or 5 players in, basically just to try and keep us up. And we did, you know what I mean? Listen, we were, you know, it was tough work, but I didn't realise how, I know the club was big. I didn't realise how big the club was until I actually walked through the doors and turned out the home game. My first game away was Brentford away, the first game I played in. But the next home game, when you walk out, Jesus Christ, the backing you get. You know, when they say when you say at the moment some clubs like maybe Sheffield United need fans. My God, what we got to help us was unbelievable. And like I say, how many games I played, I'm not even sure anymore. But that last game we beat Charlton at home 1-0 to stay up. It was one of the best occasions ever.
Yeah.
You know, you shouldn't really, a club like us shouldn't really be celebrating staying up, but at the time it seemed like promotion.
We celebrate staying up like Man United do winning the Champions League. I really do.
But I mean, it's the same old story, isn't it? When you look at clubs at the wrong end, there's not enough goals being scored, and there's too many being conceded. You know, it's and that's how it is. You know, if the goal scorers aren't scoring and goals are going in any angles at set plays and in the 6-yard box and open play, you know, there's always going to be a bit of trouble.
Just coming back on as well to current times, it's difficult to compare it to any other time, isn't it? Because there's no fans in the ground. They've got the COVID situation to deal with as well. You know, when you're comparing Karanka to anybody else, I don't know if that's fair, to be honest, with the current, you know, situation the way it is.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's a comparison, Paul. There's a massive, massive frustration from me, from you, from, you know, the fans up and down wherever they come from. And then it all resorts in sack the manager. That's not always the answer. Sacking the manager isn't always the answer.
No. Well, sorry, Paul.
I was just going to say, how many years did it take Jurgen Klopp to win something at Liverpool? What did Guardiola do in his first season at Man City? And they're at the elite level, you know. I know we're classed as elite level, by the way. So,
Ferguson, United.
Say again?
Ferguson at Man United.
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah. One game away, wouldn't he? Apparently, 1 game away from getting the sack.
That's it. Until he won the FA Cup.
There'll be loads more as well. There'll be loads more managers out there that have been there a long time, you know, and it took them a while to you know, or you can go to the past as well. There'll be people that it took them a while to win anything, but in today's game, you just don't get that time anymore, do you? Like
you don't get it. No. I mean, I don't get, coming back to Karanka. We've said it over the weeks, and you know, I don't get the personal abuse towards him. I mean, people are slagging him off, saying he's useless. He's not. He's took Middlesbrough into the Premier League. How can he be useless if he experienced promotion?
Yeah, I think everyone's got the opinion that he should be playing Hogan and Djukovic together. You know, I get that as well, to be honest.
But I think it's wrong. Or I think it's wrong to say he's useless. I mean, Zola was useless. He's got no track record, but Karanka's been there and done it. So I think it's wrong to just slate him like that. Although I must admit, I know we were warned that he'd be pragmatic and one up front. I am surprised at the amount of team changes week in, week out. That has surprised me.
Yeah, again though, is that down to the current way it is? You know, you have to have everyone's rotating their squads more or less, aren't they? There's not many clubs anywhere playing the same 11 players every game.
Yeah, true. But, I don't know.
I think again, these next half a dozen games, Mark.
Paul, here's an open invitation for Mr. Dong to come on the show, make himself known to us all, and answer some questions. There you go. There's an open invitation. If anybody is anywhere remotely close to him, tell him, come on the show and speak to the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no communication there. These next half a dozen games will be interesting now, because I think the majority of them. There's a seven. Say again.
Critical these are.
Yeah, but what I was going to say, Nick, was there's a 7-day break between games, so we haven't got a midweek game many times. I don't think over the next month or so. So I think that'll be interesting now when he's got time to actually rest players up. Will he stick to, if he gets a good result? I'm not counting Man City, but in the next league game, if he gets a good result, will he stick to the same team then? If he's got 7 days,
you know what we like, Paul, we'll go and win it.
I mean, what was it like, Richard, when you playing 3 games a week? Did you just train less, or would you,
Yeah, obviously things have changed massively, haven't they, since, even before when I was playing, Liverpool won the league with using 15 or 11, 12, 13, 14 players,
Yeah.
But we, it was always a mindset when we were playing, if you won, you stayed in the side. It don't matter really how well you played, but as it's gone on, like we're back at Forest Green now, we kept the side for four times on the bounce, and then you can see them getting tired because we were playing sort of Saturday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
But you still rest them, but you still work them. 20 years ago, that side would have played the 5th game on the trot, because that's the way it was. But going back to rotating squads, if you've only got 12 top class players, you're probably going to use 12. But like you say, with the Man Cities or people at the top of the championship, they might have 16, 17, 18 top players who don't get weaker if they put 6 or 7 new ones in.
I mean, you have to figure AK to make 7 changes, though, don't you?
And also, you go back earlier, like people want instant success. It's very, very rare you get 5 or 6 17 to 22-year-olds in now, because managers are too scared to put them in because they need success straight away.
Yeah. And how's Odin Bailey doing?
He's done really well. Well. We're quite an attacking side, and we play some football, so I like to call them flair players, and he's definitely one of them where he can create, But so he's done really well in the last third. He's still a young lad, so he got a rest on Saturday, but he got abandoned after 60 minutes. But he's done really well. I think it's good for him. He's come in, and he came into the club last season for a bit before I was there, and it takes a bit of time to adjust to the more physical side of it, in the lower leagues. But there is a lot of passing teams in this league this year. But he's done well. So hopefully we've got him till the rest of the season as well.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, we might need him back.
Yeah.
Did you say me or him? Because if you said me, you're in massive trouble.
Well, we need you both, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Is it a number 10? Is it a number 10, or is it another defensive midfielder? Do we know? Is it? Right. Yeah. I think, to be honest, though, I wouldn't be surprised if, we have a few outgoings this month.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, going back to Crowley, there's a big rumour over here in Cov that he's Coventry want him back. I don't know if it's on loan or permanent, but that's been going around for weeks, that has. So if there's anything in that. I'll do my best. They won't understand me. I'm the only Brummy in Cov, I
think. Great news from the Blues youth today, with Odin Bailey signing an extension to his contract. That's secured him down. Well, there's always basket weaving, Chris, isn't there? It's the finals, is it?
Anyone to look out for, Chris? Fair enough.
Talking of bets, Brexit happened, obviously, as we know, the other night, 11 o'clock. Good friend Graham Lycett. I know I'd forget how to pronounce it. Yeah. Lovely guy. We sat and had a video call at 5 to 11 and had a whiskey together over the phone. And he said, go and put some money on this horse. I can't remember what the name of it was now, right? And I said, I've never gambled, mate. I never gamble. Sharon had to go up to town today and she had to walk past the bookies and she nearly turned in and put a few quid on it and it came in at 10 to 1.
Oh,
Just my luck. So thanks for being in Brexit with me. That's all done and dusted now. Well, as far as it can be, but does it make any difference to European fixtures, I wonder?
Apologies to everybody, I didn't have my mic on.
One job. You get one job.
Richard, Anthony Garvey's asking, did you play in the 6-4 against Swindon when we were 4-1 up?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was, we were at 4-1 up, absolutely cruising. Then I looked across to my right and see Glenn Oliver take his top off, and you think, oh my God, he's coming on. But
yeah,
I think obviously the goal started raining in, and we just totally fell apart. It was probably the worst game of my career. Looking back at it, you know, it was horrendous. You know, that game was won at half time, and you know,
was it 4-1 at half time?
Success, we put it away.
It's 4-1 after half now.
I think it was 4-1 at half time, wasn't it? Was it 4-1 at half time?
I remember being there. I'm just trying to vaguely, try and recall it. But yeah, I just remember David Mitchell coming on and changing the game. And he just looked like
a player manager. And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, madness.
Yeah. I was trying
I've been trying to
forget that for about 20 years. Thanks for that reminder.
Go on, Nick.
I've got my computers back up and running now, so I should be able to read some comments out. So,
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, did Richard play in that force? Oh yeah, we've just had that one. Right, Manchester City up next. That's going to be a tall order. No matter what team they put out, they're going to. They're all good experience, aren't they? I'm going to do this a little bit earlier tonight. Paul, what's your prediction?
Wouldn't it be typical Blues to go there and draw and get them to a replay or something? Or beat them even 1-0? I'm going to go. No, I'm going to go for. I'll go for 2-0 to them.
2-0.
Yeah.
Mark.
I'm going to say 1-0 to Man City. I think we'll just park the bus and keep it down to
1-0 to Manchester City.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris Brown.
I'm sorry, but yeah. Cricket score 5-0.
What's the Blue?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
5-0. I'm going to go for a cheeky 1-1 draw and a return to the Blues. Richard, what's your thoughts?
Crikey.
I think we'll go up there and sit in, like most clubs do, and try and see it out. But I think we'll get beat 2-0.
Yeah.
No, 2-0. Okay.
Sorry, Nick. Can I just confirm? Is it not straight to extra time?
Yeah, there's no replays.
I was going to say there's no replays. Is that?
Of course not.
No, is that right in the FA Cup now?
Yeah.
This season, straight. Just scrap the replays.
Yep.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Just going back to that game. Apparently, it was 4-1 at 4:30 p.m. and lost.
Was it?
Yeah. Just to rub it in a bit.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah,
that was horrendous. That was a horrendous game.
6-0 from 5-2 from Steve Gill. Oh God! So I'm ever sorry. My computer's really playing up tonight.
That's all right.
iPad that I wanted for Christmas, by the way. Bar humbug.
Richard, what's your best memory at Blues, mate?
Like I say, the game wise, probably when we stayed up against Charlton.
Yeah.
You know, it was probably definitely even after my career finishing, one of the biggest games I played in. So there's so much on it. You know, we just knew if we won, because Charlton, I can't remember the other side. It doesn't matter. There's another side who was playing below us and above us. And they were playing each other. So whatever happened, if we won, we'd stay up. And I remember going when Paul Malden scored, and I think about 2 minutes ago, Paul Malden went out to block a shot, and it deflected off him. It sort of span inches wide of the top corner, and you know that success and failure is so close. But when that final whistle went, it was just mad. But you know the build up to it, and like you say, with the Villa games in the cups, that's as well. It was the season after. That was probably the biggest game because it got us out the muck really and stayed up.
Would you say that were two of your best games personally for us against them up the road? Because you pretty much didn't give Dalian Atkinson a kick in either of the two games.
It it's funny because I like the bigger the game and the bigger the crowd, I get more excited, not nervous really. But you know, as a team, I thought we played really, really well both games. Yeah. And like I said earlier, it might have inhibited our league form for 7 or 8 games after and a little bit before, because for us, well, for me as well, it was, like I say, there were 2 just massive games. The rivalry is unbelievable.
Oh yeah,
You'll know that more than me. But
when we had the great escape in 1993 when Paul Morgan scored versus Charlton, do you think it was a change to the lucky kit that kept us up? I think we wore it around the time.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Hey. Without a shadow of a doubt, we did no training or anything before it. We just turned up in the lucky kit.
Oh, crikey. What were those dressing rooms like with Bazza?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, they were full.
Yeah. Yeah, full.
No, listen, he was, you know, as a manager, he was unbelievable to work under, because you never knew what was going to happen day to day. You know, you never really had a schedule of what you're going to do. But, you know, he was one of football's massive characters, and I don't think there's enough characters in football nowadays. So, you know, luckily he's still sort of involved at Peterborough as well. So certain games you see him. But, you know, he just brought put new life into the club as well when he came. Lively, and loads of players came. We all know that. But, you know, it was just it was a strange time. I think, though, as a defender, he'd rather lose 4-3 than win a boring 1-0. Yeah. You know, because he just wants entertainment all the time. But yeah, it was a good time. You know what I mean? We still speak. When I was manager at Worcester, he came down and did a do for us. You know, got up and spoke and did that all for nothing, gave it all to charity. So, you know, he's a real good bloke. You know, he'd give you your last tenner. Brilliant.
Nick, back to the Man City game. Steve Portman's gone 45-0 to Manchester City. I think what he meant was 0-0 at full time, and they're going to score 45 in the last 2 minutes, 30 minutes.
That's a goal every 2 minutes, even without stoppage time.
It's my God. Richard Martin, probably the quickest centre-back pairing we've ever had from Steve Jobb. And Leonard Edgington, hi to everybody at Tilton Talk Show from Queensland, Australia. Man City to cruise it 5-0, and a very happy New Year to you, Leonard, and to everybody over in Australia that listens as well. Right.
Did anybody get a good Blues-related Christmas present?
I got a few, to be honest. Oh, yeah, I've got one here, actually. Do you want to see it?
Drinks coaster?
Oh, right. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Mine wasn't Blues-related, but it is, indirectly. I've got my short.
Oh, yeah, it is indirectly.
Yeah. Do you want to see what I got?
I thought he'd had a tattoo on his backside then for a minute.
Yeah. Go on then, Mark.
That's what I thought it was going to be then.
Ooh.
Look at that.
What is it, Mark?
It's from the local bus stop. No, it's a tube. It's a tube up of all the sort of achievements and stuff.
Oh, right. Oh, well done.
So my other half, she got me that.
Very nice. Very nice.
The tube up in Birmingham. Okay.
Back in the child. That's how I remember his face when he took me to my first game back in the 70s.
That's his dad,
is that
lovely.
Chris? It's Chris.
That's his dad. That's his dad.
Red picture of Papa Jack.
Oh,
that's fantastic, Nick. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Richard? Did you get any good Blues-related Christmas presents?
I've got no Blues ones this year. No, nothing at all this year.
Let us down.
Well, maybe next year. Maybe
Don't know what you're missing, mate. Don't know what you're missing out on.
Let us down.
Nigel Mansell thought Nick was his BCF underpants. I ain't got me, mate.
Who was the best player you played with for us, mate?
Oh, crikey me. The most talented was probably Tatey. On his day, Paul Tate was unbelievable on his day.
Yeah.
You know, but probably the most impact was Jose Dominguez on his day.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You know, quick and direct. You know, he could tear teams apart on his own as long as we were solid.
Yeah. And what about your whole career?
Good ones, you know, I've got my team written down here, and we had some really good players.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
And in your whole career,
I think.
We'll have a look at your team later, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do your team later, mate. Yeah. And in your whole career, would it be Letitia or?
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. He was just, how he didn't get any more England caps. You know, when you look at you look at Flair players now. He was top. You know what he could do with the ball was his finishing was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He always goes on about his best goal ever, because like you ask him what the best goal ever is, it could be one of 15.
Yeah.
But he said he was against Tim Flowers at Blackburn.
Blackburn,
he's about 20
yeah,
yards out. No, about 30 yards out, and he's bent it right in the top corner.
Yeah.
And he said that was my favourite goal. It was against one of my best mates.
Yeah.
And someone asked him, well, what did Tim Flowers say when it went in the top corner? He said, I don't know. I was too far away.
Good answer.
Great answer. I remember one he got against Newcastle as well. A couple he got against Newcastle, the one where he flicked it over them players' heads.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a few.
He had two in the same game.
Yeah. It's strange. There's a few sort of maverick type players that don't seem to suit any England setup, really, do they?
No.
You know, it's a very rare thing, isn't it? You know, going back to Alan Hudson, you know, what a player.
He was probably a bit before his time, wasn't he, Letizia? You know, in this modern game now, his game would have suited today's game better, wouldn't it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, you know, and like you say, all players, they're on about George Best, would he adapt? The best players would adapt and be brilliant. You know, that's what they do. You know, they've adapted in their eras, and they would adapt in any other era if they're that good. You know.
And what about against? Who's the best?
No doubt.
Yeah, and who's the best player you've ever played against?
The hardest one to mark was probably when I was at Southampton was Dennis Bergkamp, because when you're talking about Matt Letizia being in a different era, he used to drop into holes like where number 10s drop into now, and you just couldn't. You go near him, he'd spin, and you just couldn't get near him. You know, last resort, you try and kick people, and you just couldn't get near him to kick. It was tough, but he was just class. He just used class. You know, he wasn't a brute. You know, he's just class. That's what
he was genuinely world class, wasn't he? He was unbelievable. I dread to think what he'd be worth in today's market.
Wow.
Oh man, I know. And then you go back into the other end of it. People like played Mick Harford a couple of times, and I'm just happy to still have my nose, really. He's one tough man, you know, one proper tough man, but you know, just a totally different animal from Dennis Bergkamp. So
what was it like playing under Graham Souness?
Brilliant, because I was a bit worried going there, because he bought us, because you know what he's like as a player, you know, and he lost it. He probably lost it twice all season, you know, when in the change room at half time against two different people. Otherwise, he was encouraging, always front foot, you know, everything had to be high tempo. And he's a really, really good manager. We got on pretty well. So
did he have some sort of soft?
I thought he was going to be
Did he have a soft side to him? Did you have a soft side to him? You know, is the sort of guy who could sort of put him on?
He had everything you wanted, really. I mean, the good thing is, you know, you go to some managers who shout and scream every minute of the game and all through training. You end up turning off and not listening. But like I say, he lost it a couple of times during the game, maybe 2 or 3 times in training. And you sort of stand up, and then, you know, he joined in the 5-sides. Every time I had a 5, he'd join in, and you know, he put himself about, and you could just tell he was just a proper warrior. And but he was a player's manager. You know what I mean? If you worked hard for him, he would make sure if you needed anything, you'd get it, like, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Tottenham 1, Brentford 0 currently. So there you go. A lot of people asking me about my birthday. My birthday, if you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, was last Christmas Day. Last Christmas Day. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before.
On Christmas Day?
So, yes, I had a lovely birthday. I had a beautiful bottle of malt whiskey, which I haven't drunk all of yet, but I might start later. Now, doppelgangers. We often talk about doppelgangers on this programme. Chris Brown, you're a doppelganger with Richard Dryden, aren't you?
Hang on.
Come on, there's some similarities there, isn't there?
I think I'm probably a lot more better looking. Hang on. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is me. Good job, you got your name on that one, Chris.
Where am I? Oh, there I am.
No, I didn't mention it much, Nigel, but thanks for reminding me, Ken. Oh, I've got another birthday coming up this year, you know.
Have you?
Yeah. Not till Christmas Day, though.
All right, same day as our Lord.
So you watch much of Richard? You're watching much of Blues lately at all? Have you seen much of us over the last, well, say 10 years?
I watch obviously when it comes on the just highlights and everything. You know, you always look at the result of the clubs you've played at. You know, I've got about 30 clubs I've got to look at. So, but you always look and you always hope. But you know, that league is so tough.
Oh yeah.
You know, there's so many sides in there who can compete, who can spend. You know, it's such a tough league. But I always, you know, I've got Nottingham Forest down the road from where I live. But you know, you look at the size of Birmingham City. It's just for me, it's just another level how big the club is and can potentially be even bigger. You know, it's you know, you just hope that you know someone gets it right and gets the right players in, and everybody pushes in one direction to have a right go one season. You know, the best thing what's happened in years and years is the playoffs, because it gives you more chance to go up. You know what I mean? Whatever league you're in, you've got a great chance. But like I say, that league is so tough, and people who come down, you get the parachute payments as well. It's just a massive bonus for them. You know, just to have another gamble to go back up. You know, it's tough, but you know the infrastructure looks there. I don't know what, like you say, you're there and know a lot more about it than me at the moment, but it's such a big club. It's just deserves to go to the top league.
Definitely,
you know?
Definitely.
Jason, you've got a question for you, Richard. Can you ask Richard how demoralising was it to only lose one game in the last 9 and miss out on staying up by goal difference? I think must have been exciting too.
What was that? The Blues? Was it goal difference? I thought we stayed up by.
I think it was.
Was that when we got relegated or when we won?
When we got relegated,
When we got
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a season where you just couldn't just couldn't win for anything. You think you're getting there, and you're just dropping points and dropping points and dropping points. And like you say, sometimes goal difference is massive. You know, when you're getting beat 1-0, you know, near the end of the season, you know, you go for an equaliser, you concede another one on the break, and then all of a sudden 2 or 3 goals are a massive difference. But you know, got to a stage that season as well. You win a game and you think, brilliant, we could be out of it, but the teams above you win as well. You know, it's hard, but you can't blame the last 5 games of a season, because you know, you could pick up 10 points in the last 5 games, but it's what's happened in the 40 before or the 30 before. It's just a kick in the teeth. You know, if you get beat, if you go down on goal difference or down on 3 or 4 points, it's just that horrible taste in your mouth where could we have done better? Because the side we had was a decent side. You know, we had plenty of decent players to stay up. You know,
Mind you, having said that, it was really weird because although we went down, he's still sort of looking forward to the following season under Barry, because you just really had a chance of bouncing back. You know, you couldn't see us struggling. You could see right, you know. So yeah, it was. I was looking forward to the season after, to be honest, and it, you know, proved right.
I mean, and that's what he did. That's what he did a little bit. Barry was there was always a silver lining to whatever happened. You know, he could give some right hammering, but there was always a silver lining. You know, and you know, the side he assembled as it went on was another step up. So, like you say, sometimes you don't want to be a yo-yo club. That's what you don't want to be, coming up and coming down. And you know, we went down, but he took us up, and then all of a sudden you're established. You're back to established again. It's a little bit like Burnley in the top league, isn't it? Burnley, are they a Premier League side? Well, they are, because they don't really struggle. They're there all the time, aren't they? You know, they're never in the top 3 betting to go down. But you know, this year somehow they'll dig themselves out of it because they've got them players to do it. But, with Barry, it was, you know, it was horrible going down, because I was injured at the end of the season. I didn't play, and I couldn't do a lot else anyway. You know what I mean? But you know, we had some great players like Daishi and all that in the side, and you know, there's some top players, some top winners in there. So you knew whatever happened, if you keep them, they would. You know, the season after, there was going to be a decent season.
In some ways, Richard, were you a bit sort of, on a personal level, were you a bit disappointed to miss out on Wembley and then the promotion and all the rest of it? Or, you know,
a little bit. You know what I mean? A little bit, but sometimes sometimes when you listen, I've been to club. I left Birmingham to go to Bristol City, and you know, great coming near where I live back home. A lot of my mates are Bristol City fans, have you? But it was probably the worst move ever in my career, because as soon as I touched the ball, I was getting booed by the home fans. You know what I mean? It was just I didn't play. Don't get me wrong, I didn't play well, but it was just tough. But you know, when you go back to the Wembley stuff, I'm really happy because I played the last season for Stoke on loan at Wembley against Bristol City, funnily enough, in the EFL trophy. So that was a full house because it was two well supported clubs. Yeah. And I've coached at the new Wembley. That was the old Wembley. So not many people get to play at Wembley. You know, you get the usual faces every year, but it was nice. I was so happy to play at Wembley before it got redone. You know what I mean? So, but when you see Tatey with the t-shirt on and everything at Wembley, and you think, wow, I wish I was on that pitch. You know, it's when people say, "Oh, just getting to finals is enough." It's not. Once you get there, when all the other fans have gone. You know what I mean? There's half a stadium left. That's when you know the winning and losing is so important when you get there.
Definitely.
Richard, just going back a little bit, Lee Malin said, in that fateful season, West Brom only played 81 minutes of their game on that day. We went down at Tranmere. The ref blew as their fans kept invading the pitch and was concerned for player safety. People forget that. They played off the park and could have easily conceded in those 9 minutes. And that could have been a season starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have got promotion then, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's what counts.
I think they should replay it now.
Yeah.
Wheel everybody out.
So do you think you'd enjoy, Richard? Do you think you'd enjoy playing in today's game as much as you did when you played? From what you see as a coach.
Yeah. I mean, I just love playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's strange. I think I would have. You know, it was funny because I went on loan to Swindon with Andy King, who obviously passed away a few years ago as well. And he only took me for a month, and then he pulled me down the bus and said, "Do you want to stay for the other 2 months?" I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." He goes, "Well, the reason I didn't take you for 3 months was I spoke to a club and they said, 'Oh, you're a bad influence in the changing room.'" And he said, "Why is that?" He said, "Well, because you've had so many clubs and man, you thought you were a bad influence." And it's not. It's just basically I wasn't never going to get back in the Southampton side. So I went to 3 clubs that season just to play games. You know, it wasn't bad influence. You know, so I just love playing. And, you know, you look now at the pitches compared to when we were at the Blues sometimes in the mud or the baseball ground. You go to the baseball ground with Blues once, there was no grass left, you know, and you look at it now and the balls are a lot lighter and probably would have lived a little bit better nowadays than we did then, you know, with the social side of it. So, yeah, I would have played in any era, you know.
Talking about the balls, did anybody notice Etheridge kicking the ball 2 or 3 times on that last game, and it went from him to the following goalkeeper? Yeah. I mean, how light are these things? They're like ping pong balls, aren't they?
Yeah. Like beach ball. Yeah.
It smacks really desperate. It smacks really of desperation, I think, doesn't it? I mean, just hoof the ball up there and hope somebody latches onto it, I think.
It's just such a frustrating time. It's just such a frustrating time at the moment, thinking about the games, you know. I mean, the penalty on Sanchez, why wasn't that given?
I know.
I mean,
there is a vendetta, I think, Paul.
I think there is. I'm convinced.
I really do.
I don't know if you've seen it, Richard, but our winger, Ivan Sanchez, he's cut in and he's tripped over in the box. And it's a foul. It's a stonewall penalty.
There was foot to foot, without a doubt.
The referee doesn't give it, and then they just go up the other end and score. Basically.
I know. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. You know, you look at this a whole season thing, and then them little things where it can get you a point or 3 points is a massive. Come the end of the season, like I say, them last 5 games don't get you relegated or in a relegation fight, but these little things in the games before, around Christmas time, they all add up.
Yeah, and then thinking back to the penalties that we've given away, you know, the one at Reading away was never a penalty. The one at home against Watford was never a penalty. Pedersen, you know, and I just think if it was at the other end, the referee couldn't have put the whistle in his mouth quick enough. You know, it's just the way it feels at the moment as a Blues fan.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like I say, the crowds are a massive thing when you play at home or even away with the away fans. You know, it's. I think it makes a massive difference to certain people. You know, different players on different teams, referees, everything. It just makes a massive difference.
I mean, going back to the crowds, Richard. I mean, you're obviously involved in the game, but do your lads at Forest Green ever say anything about the lack of fans or the empty stadium? Do they sort of say how depressing it is themselves?
No, I mean I think at the start of the season we were just happy to start, get the season going. But we've had 3 games. I think the second home game is like a tester thing. We were allowed 400 or 500 in. We probably get 3,000 maybe at the ground anyway. On average, and we were allowed 500 in or whatever, and it was good. The atmosphere was good. And then because we were in tier 2, I think we had about 800 for the next 2 home games, and the atmosphere was even for 800, the atmosphere was so different.
Makes that difference.
You know what I mean? When you're scoring, when you're winning, when the whistle goes, it makes a massive difference. And then the last 2 home games, you can tell there's just you just got to make your own atmosphere. Really, it's tough, and it's great we're still playing football because I think everybody needs it. Whether it's players or coaches or fans, at least you can still get some sort of watch your team or listen to your team. But the fans, having the fans, just brilliant. That's all it is at the moment. It's better than nothing. That's all it is. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's some of our performances.
Questions coming in. Jason McDonough wants to know, what's your favourite memory of Barry Fry?
Going down to Dunstable Downs, I think, for pre-season and seeing this right at the top of the hill with his hat on, looking like Super Mario brother. He was so far away. I had to run up to him.
He was a character. God, football misses characters.
Class. Class.
They do.
Sometimes you pull your own hair out working for him, but he was class.
Yeah. Okay.
And I confirm, ladies and gents, that Craig Courtney has written tonight to Donlan and asked him to appear on the show. So we can only hope.
Yep.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Good question. Good question from Siobhan Kenny. She's asking, what would Richard say to get the team's confidence back up? So, with our players now as they are on the floor more or less confidence-wise, what would you say to try and lift them a bit? Like,
it's sort of say and do, really. I think whether you're at the top or the bottom, you've got to go and try and play without fear. People worry. We try and just go out and enjoy yourself. You've got to try and. It's hard, but as you train, play as you train. And if you don't enjoy training, there's something wrong. If you're a professional footballer, I know it's hard when you're down the bottom, but you have got to go out and just express yourself. Yeah. If you're a match winner up front or a midfield, go and express yourself. Yeah. And what I say to our players is, everybody's massive on basically, work on what you're bad at. Well, no, work on what you're really good at and what you're bad at. If you're a flying winger, the fullback look after the defensive side of it. Go and do what you're good at and hurt teams. Don't worry about what you're bad at because the centre half will head it away, but the centre forward's got to go and score the goals. And I think if you just work on what you're good at and let everybody else do what they're good at, and you've got the right team. It might take a few games, but go and do it. I know it's really easy to say, but keeping a clean sheet when you're struggling is just a massive thing, and it's just a massive confidence builder. Yeah. But you can't just fit in. Man City is a free go, and it's a free hit, Man City. Yeah. But when you go to the next league game, if you can keep a clean sheet, attack, and just winning 1 or 2 games is just a massive confidence builder. What's it, 6 or 7 games without winning at the moment? Yeah. Like you say, you go down and down and down, but your characters in the team have got to pull each other along and pull the rest along with them. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough season.
Unfortunately, I don't think we've in this squad we don't have that character. We don't have that character that can get behind the team and we just don't have it anymore. There isn't a strong influence at all in the team, isn't there? But I think what you said, like playing without fear, I think that is a great thing to say. I think if people can remember that, players.
It's a tough one. It's really tough because I'll go back to my Bristol City days where I wouldn't say I was fragile, but I wasn't. I always worried about stuff. Like, you know what I mean? I loved the big crowd, but I always worried about stuff. But I went to Bristol City. I never played after Christmas for the last season that I was there. I just played reserves, and getting booed bit all the time. And I got to a stage where, well, what can really hurt me anymore mentally? You know what I mean? They're not. You know, I've been booed by my own fans. Every time my name gets right, I get booed. Nothing can really hurt me. And I went from Bristol City reserve to Southampton first team, because I think Bristol City was probably my worst football move, but probably my best move for my mental ability, really. And you know, I always look back to that, saying that probably changed my, not just career, but my life, my outlook on life, and think, well, there's a lot worse that can happen than lose a football match. You know what I mean? In life, and that is probably a great move.
So are you from that area, West Country?
Bristol, yeah.
I
started at Bristol Rovers though, so that didn't really help. But I've got to say, I didn't play great at Bristol City. You know, it wasn't my best season and a half by a long way. But like you say, things happen for a reason, and you know, I think that really spurred me on to better things. Really,
another big club, really. Another could be massive. A big club, aren't they?
Yeah,
Bristol, yeah,
massive.
There's only one, but there's only one BCFC.
Yeah, they've got some good fans. They have Bristol City. Both clubs have really.
Yeah, they have.
Quite passionate.
What's pleasing as well, when I was there, you go outside the ground, as you got Ashton Park and what have you around there, a little park, and there was loads of people with, at the time, Arsenal's, Liverpool shirts on. But now there's more and more Bristol City shirts knocking about, which is good. You know what I mean? Your local club and what have you. So
it's a tidy little ground, actually. It's a tidy stadium. I must say. I've been there.
It's good. I think we had the same sort of thing, didn't we? Over not long ago around Birmingham, everybody seemed to be wearing Man United shirts. But,
Oh, don't start me on that.
But
I can't.
But,
okay, let's say well done to Carol Sandland for winning the. Was it the share shirt, Chris?
One of the share shirts. Yeah, there's a few.
Share shirts, and thank you for your kind message today. All you got to do is share the stream on your personal Facebook page to win a chance to win next week.
Yeah, can I just say the prizes that haven't gone out are going to go hopefully out this week. There's a couple more to go, including our great Christmas giveaway that goes out as well.
Okie dokie. Okay. And there'll be no appearance for the Chiltern Talk Show on Switch Radio tonight. Our good friends at Switch Radio, we just haven't got time to do the edit and to get it across there. So don't go outside running for your cars and switching it on and hoping it'll be there, because it won't be there. It won't be there. A lot of people, Chris, are asking about the stars and how the stars work and what the stars do. Can you give us an update?
Okay, so you can buy. I think you can buy 100 stars for about £2, I think, and all the stars go towards us. Go towards our charity drive. So it's only a few pennies, but it all mounts up, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So there you go. That's that one. I'm going to say happy birthday for Nicholas Wellsbury on the 27th of January. I don't think he's mentioned it more than about 9 times this week.
No, he hasn't.
Man after my own heart.
4 days after mine, that is. Mine's the 23rd.
23rd? Oh,
yeah.
What day is yours on, Paul?
What day or date?
Day,
Saturday.
Oh, right, okay, cool.
But all the pubs are shut, so it might as well be Monday.
I know, sure. Hurt me.
I think you'll be staying in, Paul.
I think I will, yeah.
Right, going back to Mr. Dong, Ray Holbro's asking, does Dong's the only one that makes our atmosphere and gets fined for it? What's your take on that one? Both of you, Paul, Mark, well, all three of you, actually.
Well, I don't think a CEO should be shouting at an official, if I'm honest, like, abusive language.
Well, nobody should do, really.
Not really. Not really. But you don't really hear of many CEOs doing that, do you?
No. I imagine a few managers in the past.
So are we saying lack of taste, lack of respect?
Naivety, I think.
Yeah.
Naive.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Sorry, Mark, I missed that.
Naive.
Yeah.
He's a new signing.
Didn't he play for Everton, Pat Naive? No, didn't
he played for Tottenham, didn't he, Naive?
Yeah. Scored against Seaman, didn't he, with that?
Yeah, from the halfway.
Halfway line, isn't it?
Yeah. Please, Mark, no Seaman jokes.
So did you play with Chris Marsden at Southampton? I'm guessing.
Chris Wilder.
Marsden.
Chris Marsden.
Chris Marsden. Yeah. He was a good. He was a winner.
He was a great player.
He was a cracking
never
player
bought
for
a beer
us,
though, but he was a winner. Yeah.
He was what?
A winger.
Never bought a beer, but he's a winner.
A winner. Oh, right.
Oh, he was a winner, not a wingo. He was a winner. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
No, yeah, he was good to have in the team. Yeah.
He was a good
solid
player
in
for us.
there.
Yeah. Because he went to Southampton from us.
Yeah.
He did, yeah.
Jeff Kenner wasn't there, was he? Was that Jeff Kenner at Blackburn at the time?
He was before me.
He was before you, wasn't he? Yeah.
He was before me, Jeff.
Yeah.
Another good player.
I've also got to say again, thank you to Caroline Carey. She was stewarding at the Blues on what day was it? What day did we play? Because I've lost track of all days, dates, and times now.
Saturday.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I Facebooked her at half time. I said, if you get a throw in or anything near you, give us a wave. So I actually had a wave from Birmingham City Football Club. So thanks for that. It made me day.
Here's one from John Smith. He says, Richard, did you ever cross paths with Mark Dennis at Southampton?
He used to come watch loads of games, Mark Dennis.
Mm-hmm.
You used to see him in the bar after and what have you, have a few beers. He was a good man as well. I mean,
yeah.
There's a lot of close people who moved back to Southampton who played in and around there. But he was well liked down there. He was a tough lad as well.
Oh, crikey,
Birmingham at the time, that was a real tough team, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, part of the crazy gang, the Blues crazy gang. He was, wasn't he?
Cool.
It
was a big tough side then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I've seen him quite a lot. Yeah, I used to see him. Yeah.
Cracking player.
Yeah, good man.
I'm trying to use my.
He's always about 4 points ahead of me before I met him.
Yeah.
I'm in ultimate stato mode here, trying to think of players that have played for Blues and Southampton that you might have played with, like, at Southampton, but I'm struggling now. Say Chris Marsden. I'm struggling.
Yeah, there was many come down. Scott Hiley.
Scott Hiley, yes. Somebody mentioned that earlier, didn't they? Scott Hiley. Yeah. Somebody else.
Yeah.
He was all right, wasn't he? Good right back.
Great player, wasn't he? Yeah.
Very good. Very good. He was. Yeah, he used to get us up the pitch. He was a good player. Yeah.
He's just a bit unlucky with injuries, wasn't he?
Yeah. Because we didn't start together, but we first played together at Exeter. So I was on the left, he was on the right, but he was a good player. And obviously moved to Birmingham, virtually the same week or two. He went to Man City, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I think he went to Man City and played. Yeah. Well, he did. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but I think as near his end, he got a few injuries and what have you. But I think he's back up living in Manchester at the moment. Spoke to him about a year ago, I think, by WhatsApps and what have you. Yeah.
Yeah. And have you got any funny pranks or stories you can tell us from in the dressing room at Blues or up from the training ground or anything?
That won't get us in trouble.
No, yeah, I'm trying to rule a few out here before I say anything. Yeah, I mean, I used to travel down with Andy Saville, Cole Shutt as well, and Ian Bennett, the goalkeeper. Yeah. And Andy Saville and Paul Molden, they were pests, proper pests at the end. I mean, we used to go back to the ground and what have you, and like it'd be just keep the secretary a little bit, just talk, get back away from the telephone. The old days when the phones were on the cord, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they get sellotape, just sellotape the phone to the base basically. And then we go out and we just keep ringing, and obviously
Brilliant.
the phone, and then you use your ones as well. Get the bins when you're in the hotel. Get the bins, fill it halfway up with water, lean it against the door, outside someone's door, knock at the door and run off. The door.
That's classic.
That was all part of it. You see, a good changing room's really, really important. That's the start of training. You go into a changing room and you're interacting with everybody. I think it's really important. You get a good changing room.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I remember I liked Andy Saville. He was a good decent striker. He was Andy Saville.
He was. He scored so many goals that season when we all about 6 of us came. I reckon he must have got 8. 8 in about 10 games, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did, yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. There was at one point. There's a rumor that some Italian teams were looking at him at Malden. I think Pizza were one of them, and a couple of Ascoli, and there's all sorts of rumors.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Hey, pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can have it with pineapples, apparently. So these days, yeah.
That's what I mean. I mean, if you're a goal scorer and you get on that, all you need is 15 real good games and scoring 8 to 10 goals. People start looking at you. It's the only thing in the world, isn't it? Putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, a great question here from Craig. He's asking, how does Mark compare to his dad in terms of management?
Mark Cooper.
Yeah,
not me.
No.
Yeah, not Mark.
Mark's really demanding.
Sorry, compared to Sarah.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark
Cooper.
Mark's quite demanding in what he wants. You know what I mean? And he's clear in what he wants. A little bit like his dad.
Yeah.
But his dad. I mean, he did loads for me. You know what I mean? He took me to Exeter, then to Blues, and then he recommended me at Southampton. So I went down on trial at Southampton to start. But what I found with Terry, I could be an average player. I thought I was an average player, but he can make me feel like a world beater, just by a couple of words or not saying it. Sometimes you come in at half time, you think, oh, I've had a shocker. You think, what's he going to say? And he'd say nothing to you. You think, oh, got away with that one. But he knew what, his man management was unbelievable. And I always knew when I used to be a winger. I started off as a left winger, believe it or not.
No, right, okay.
And I'd come in and you think, God, I've had a great first half there. And you do what he used to call me Trig. He goes, what? And my guy goes, are you all right? I went, yeah. He goes, oh, come on then. And you knew you'd done well. You know what I mean? But he could make average players feel like top of the world. Mark does as well. He's more demanding, which is probably right nowadays because the technical side of it and the tactical side of it's probably gone up a notch in the last 20 years. How to kill teams. With you look at so much data nowadays when you go in on a Monday or over the weekend how teams play, and everything's got to be a lot more thorough and put through, and it's almost not. It's not robotic because if you're robotic, you don't get. It's waste time having your Odin Baileys. Because you need Odin Bailey to do what he does because he's different from other players. So. I think with all the data and you've got to watch games and that, I think it's a lot. You relied on players to think for themselves more. I think years ago, go and do this, go and do that, and create your own ideas. But Terry as a man management was brilliant. But you wouldn't want to cross him. No, I tell you what, if you didn't work hard for him, hope you haven't bought a house in this area, mate, because you're on your way.
I wouldn't have thought that. I wouldn't have thought that of Terry. He's always come across as mild mannered, so he did have a bit of a temper on him.
Well, if you didn't work hard, you know what I mean. And listen, I think every good manager can accept players making mistakes, but if you don't work hard and do what or try and do what you're asked of, what's the point of being in the team? So
Another good one from Jason Hughes.
Both good people, though.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Another good one from Jason Hughes. He just said, what was it like around the sort of squad when Paul Pescasolido and Karen Brady first got together? He was told quite quickly after, wasn't he?
It was, well, I used to stay, so I lived in Nottingham, and I used to stay with Pesh in Paul Fenwick, if you remember Paul Fenwick.
Yeah, I do.
Canadian, yeah. Staying there flat. Yeah, instead of me travelling and what have you. So you start hearing bits of rumours and what have you, and obviously, if I'm in the flat, it's just keep yourself to yourself, really. Sometimes he wasn't there, sometimes he was, but I don't think it affected the players. I mean, the media made a fair old bit of it, which is obviously what was always going to happen. But I don't think it affected anything on the pitch or at the club at the time.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't there. Yeah, he was sold quite soon after they got together, wasn't he?
Was it Derby or Sheffield United he went to?
Stoke.
He went to
Stoke.
Yeah, Stoke.
Or Stoke.
Stoke,
It could have been any of them. Yeah, he had more moves than me, I think. So, but But yeah, it might have been for the best at the time. You know what I mean? For the club and that after they got, you know, when they got married as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was maybe a bit too close, but you know, again, he was a proper goal scorer, Paul. You know,
Oh, he was. He was a quality player.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah. My favourite image of them together is when Horsfield equalises in Cardiff against Norwich, and they both jump up together, celebrate the goal in the playoff final in 2002.
I was worried what you was going to say then. I thought you got images on your computer that I hadn't seen. And I've seen most of them.
Oh dear.
While we're on the topic, just want to give people a lovely reminder, a little reminder. If you write anything on the Tilton Talk page, we've got a lot of children on there. Please keep the language to a 0 if you could. Lots of little children reading, and you know, it's up to us to kind of like mentor them, and you know, what we don't want to do is start being in the situation when we have to start having to delete posts or one thing and all of that.
We don't like doing it.
And everything you got to say, but try and keep your language out of it if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Yeah, Paul.
Yeah. I was just going to ask Richard, who was your favourite partner at centre half? Like, you know, who's the best player you played next to in a back four at Blues and in your career?
At Blues, Daishi was a proper centre half, but I didn't play a lot of games with him. You know, I was sort of on my way out of Blues then when Daishi was coming in. But I probably, you know, you mentioned Paul Marden as well. We didn't really play a lot of games together because Terry brought in Chris White. Remember Chris White?
Yeah.
And we linked up pretty well. He was the most casualist man in the world. You know what I mean? He was plenty of time on the ball, knock it around, and I probably learned a fair bit off him. I mean, Trevor Matthewson was the first one when I first came into the club. So, you know, he was club captain at the time, or team captain, because you had John Frayne as well. You know what I mean? So, I would probably say the most I learned off was probably Chrissy White, because he you know, he'd been at Arsenal, been at Leeds, been everywhere, and you know,
been there and done it, hasn't he?
Yeah, cut the drinks and bounced off each other a little bit, ideas and that, like. So he was pretty good for me, Chris.
Yeah. And in your whole career?
Klaus Lundegren at Southampton.
Yeah. Good player. Yeah,
from Norway. He when I went to Saints, he probably came about 3 or 4 weeks later, and he was definitely the class act of the two. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Have you got any mementos from your career? Or have you got kept any blue shirts or anything?
You know what? I gave loads. I kept loads of, because, like I say, with the Wembley stuff, what we were talking about earlier and what have you. Yeah. I had loads. I had a massive hold of them all, and I gave them to one of my mates for a massive charity thing, probably about 6 or 7 years ago. I just gave him everything, tracked everything I had. Because it was for a worthy cause, and sometimes I wish I'd kept a couple. I've got a couple when my son was younger, when he was about 4 or 5, but they don't fit me, so it's a bit of a blow. But I've kept them. You know, I've got one of them signed by Matt Batiz by him and that. But at the time it was. But like I say, it's even when I won at Wembley, when we won the FA Trophy, me and Mark, for Darlington at Wembley. Even the goal scorer, Chris Senior, he had his medal nicked. And there's a few things went missing after the game.
Right.
So I gave him my medal, you know, and I was half hoping Darlington might buy me another one, which they didn't. But the memories, what I've got of the game, that's what I want in memories. You know, I don't have to look at the medal to remember how good the day was, like, you know. So no, I've not lost a lot. I've given away a lot of stuff for that, for certain reasons. But like I say, my memories, and sometimes you look at YouTube on footage and that, it's that's more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Should we do Richard's 1 to 11 now, or Nick? Do you want to say something, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, go on, Nick. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just go for it, Paul.
Go on,
okay.
Nick.
Do you want me to whiz through it or go through it player by player?
Player by player.
Yeah, go player. Give us a bit about why you've chosen each one, and maybe who their closest competitor was.
And formation.
Yeah.
And formation, and captain as well.
And captain.
Well, I've gone 4-4-2 because I picked two wingers basically. In goal, I've gone for Kevin Miller, and
Yeah.
it was a real close call between him and Ian Bennett.
Yeah.
But I always felt Kev used to come out when we were under pressure. He used to come out and catch a lot or punch a lot. You know, with his size and that. I think that helped us a lot when we were struggling in our box. So very, very close. But I've gone for Kev Miller in goal.
Always had tracksuit bottoms on, didn't they?
Yeah, it did, didn't he?
Yeah, Kevin Miller always wore tracksuit bottoms.
Yeah,
he did actually. Yeah. He was a big lad. He was a tough lad as well. You know what I mean? And it was quite nice when you could hear him coming for the ball. You know what I mean? Shouting, coming for the ball, because you knew he'd take a few out as long as you got out of his way. You know, he'd take one or two forwards out at the same time, so it was all right.
Yeah.
But he was good for us. He was another one. He went into the Premier League as well. You know, so. But two real good goalkeepers I was lucky to play with there.
Yeah.
Left back and captain, John Frame.
Yeah.
Great player.
Had to be John Frame, Mr. Birmingham.
Yeah.
So I think even there was no one else really to compare to him. He was for me the best left back at Blues, and I was there by a long, long way. So
how does he rank with how does he rank? Would you say? Obviously, you played with, I guess, Francis Benali at Southampton and players like that, at the higher level. How does he rank compared to that sort of level? Would you say, Franey?
Well, I would say Franey was always like a 7 out of 10. And that's what you want, really. If your player can be 7 out of 10 all the time, he wasn't aggressive, but he'd get forward and he'd never seem to give the ball away. And
no,
he always seemed to be in the right position to stop crosses and everything. You know, he was a good 7 out of 10, and he was quite quiet, on the pitch, but he always led by example on how he played. You know, and I think that's quite a big thing sometimes. You know, you knew what you're going to get out of him all the time, and I ended up playing with him at Northampton for a bit as well at the end. So,
yeah.
And he was going a bit bolder at the time, so I could give him some right hammer as well. Just stick a toe on him. Yeah, but he was brilliant. Yeah, we were quite close on off the pitch.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching him play for us.
Yeah.
My first years going down, he was excellent at left back.
He was a favourite, wasn't he?
Yeah, massively.
Just gutted when he missed that penalty against them lot.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know.
Yeah,
we never reminded him of it very often.
Yeah,
I think that's the first one that comes up if we speak. You know.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah, but no, he's a great lad. He's a great. Again, like I said, the change room's really important. We always seem to have a really good change room there. You know, a lot of changes came in and out when I was there, but the changing room was always good. So he's my captain as well. Right back, I've gone Scott Hiley as well.
Yeah, top player.
Very close with him and Clarkey as well. But I think Scott got up the pitch more than Clarkey did. So I'm always more for a quite attacking team, and he's created a fair bit of chances, Scott Hiley, going forward. So I've gone with Scott on that one. As a back two, I've gone for Liam Daish and Chris White.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
They're aggressive. You know, Daish was really, really aggressive. You know, you want him in your team.
You
definitely want him in your team. And you got him and John Frame. It's not a toss-up because I want John Frame as captain, but both of them two could have been captain. You know, leading by example or just leading on the pitch and shouting and organising people. You know, you wouldn't mess with Daish. You wouldn't mess with Daish. So, and Chris White, just calm on the ball. You know, read the game really well. Wasn't over aggressive in the air for his height, but he'd never lose headers. You know what I mean? So, but that's for me. That's quite a strong back four and a goalkeeper. Middle midfield, I've gone for George Paris because he never gave the ball away. Always read the game in midfield. And I've gone for Paul Tate because he had so much about him on his day. You know what I mean? And if he played well, he was a world beater. You know.
And who ran them close? Who ran them too close? Did you play with Mark Ward?
Played with Mark Ward, but only a little bit. Only a little bit. You know, we had Mark Ward. I can't remember playing with him too much because there was so many, when Barry came in, there was so many changes all the time.
Yeah.
And you racked your brains to do who were in there.
Remember.
He'd love rotating nowadays, wouldn't he, Barry Fry?
Oh, yeah. Field day, wouldn't
Rotate all 11 every game.
Imagine if he was allowed to make 5 subs as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crikey, he'd be making 5 subs, mate.
Oh,
Every game, you guarantee it.
Imagine the squad numbers. 75 and 80.
You knew, if he was still managing, you know, he'd be the first player to put 5 subs on at once, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a blur in the middle for me. But you got Mark in there as well, who put his foot in. But George Paris never really gave it away, just kept it simple, kept passing it wide to wide men and let them get on with it, really. And like I said, Tony, on his day, when you say, I won't call him a luxury player because he'd boot anything as well and run around, but you know, his vision and how he could play, how he could run with the ball in that middle as well was good. You know, I like
He was unlucky with injuries, wasn't he?
Well,
he was unlucky with injuries, wasn't he, Tate? If it weren't for the injuries, he probably would have.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. On to the top.
Yeah, they've gone to the top. Yeah.
Never a dull moment in the change room with Tatey.
Yeah.
No. Never a dull moment.
And of course, it was a big.
Going to happen.
Yeah, and of course, he was a big blue nose. So I mean, that's what you want him in the team. You know what I mean?
Massive. Yeah.
Just ask Kevin Richardson.
Yeah.
I know he's still picking his wig up off the front row, mate. He is, Kevin.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but he was another one who came down to Southampton. Kev Richardson. He came down near the end of his career.
Oh right, okay.
So that's my middle two. On the right, I've got Jose Dominguez for sheer pace and attacking wise. So that helps. Obviously, you got Ted McMinn, who came for a bit, who could do stuff when he wanted to do stuff. But I think Jose was at the right age at the time where he could just, whether the fullback was quick, he's never going to be quicker than him. If he was too tricky for the fullback. So I thought when he was here, he was a really, really, really good player. And on the left, go on.
I was just going to say, I believe he's been taken ill recently.
He has, hasn't he? Yeah, I was just about to say.
Not very good at the moment. He's in with coronavirus at the moment.
Yeah.
So I wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, get well soon.
Get well soon, Ted. Yeah, team man.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I speak to Tommy Johnson quite a lot, and they're quite close. He keeps us informed how he is and what have you, but he's not in great health at the moment. So hopefully he'll pull through.
Yeah.
Hopefully. And then so that's my right winger anyway. And on the left, a little bit like Jose, with loads and loads of pace, was Louis Donowa.
What a play!
Yeah, he could shift.
Yeah,
he could shift.
Yeah.
He could shift, and he scored a fair few goals as well.
Yeah.
You know, he knocked in with more than people think. I think, you know, and
that one at Albion in the halfway line.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just. Yeah, you look at that side there. It's just two people raw pace. It could just hurt anybody. You know, when you need to get up the pitch, it's proper pace in there. So there's no one really on that left-hand side to touch Louis. I don't think when I played, if I'm honest.
You wouldn't play with Gleghorn, would you? It was probably after Gleghorn went, wasn't it? He would have been gone to Stoke.
No, I wasn't there with him. No. I wasn't there with him. No.
Yeah, well, he was one of the first names on the team sheet, wasn't he, Louis Donowa, every game?
Yeah. Yeah, you just sometimes you just didn't know what he was going to do with it, and you know, and that's if you don't know what he's going to do, the back, you know, the fullback don't know either. So but the pace, and he just used to cruise past people. He's brilliant.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
He's always late when I picked him up. Used to pick him up at my Tamworth services. He's always bloody late.
Was it?
Yeah. But there you go. There could have been loads up front, like we say when we stayed up. You know, Andy Saville, Paul Molden. There's more and more, but I've gone with Paul Pesky-Solido.
Yeah.
Because his work rate, and he was a goal scorer as well.
Yeah.
And I've gone with Steve Claridge as well, because there is.
Yeah.
You know, they were a handful up there. You know what I mean? They used to run all day.
Yeah.
Both could score goals. I mean, and you look at the side, and I think there's 7 or 8 who played in the Premier League.
Oh yeah, that's a cracking side, isn't it? What a team!
Yeah.
This is a good
Claridge
side.
he went on to back down to Portsmouth, didn't he, Claridge, after that then? Didn't he?
Yeah,
He managed them for a
Yeah.
time as well, yeah. Yeah, I think he was managing them for a time as well.
Yeah, he was it Salisbury? Was it Salisbury he was?
Hmm.
I
think
he
it
still
was,
might be there. I think he's gone back to it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was some player.
He was some player. He was some player.
Yeah.
It's
You know
only,
what,
it's
though,
only,
it's funny 'cause I used to go on.
Go on, Mark.
no, sorry, Richard. I was just going to say, you go through those players, and it just makes you realise how, didn't really appreciate them probably at the time, but looking back, what a team that was.
Yeah, he was.
We've had some great. We've had some great players over the years.
Exciting team with characters. There's some characters there.
Yeah.
Good time.
Dressing room characters that you want in your team, basically.
Jason Hughes is at Salisbury now.
Go on, Nick.
Jason Hughes said he's at Salisbury now.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think he was at Salisbury for a bit. I think he's gone back to it now as well. I think whether he's manager or director of football, whatever. I think he's gone back. But I couldn't be certain on that. But you look at the players Boozer had.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Anyway, that was a great, cracking team you put together there. Really good. And not one of them players would leave anything on the pitch when they come off at the final whistle, would they?
No, that's it. That's it. They're you look at the front two and the wide two. They cause anybody any no end of problems. And you got Tatey in there and get forward. George is just sitting there and pass it. And Scott would probably get probably a little bit higher than Franey would.
Yeah.
But it's just a secure team with a lot of flair as well, really.
Yeah. But if you manage to get past Tatey and Paris, then you've got Daishi to deal with, ain't you, as well?
A brick wall, basically.
You wouldn't get nowhere near the goal.
So you got a brick wall to get through. So
You basically have,
exactly.
And God help if you're Italian.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
All good stuff. Some great memories in that team, anyway.
Oh, some great ones. Brilliant. Excellent. Fantastic.
Real. Into the last 15 minutes of the show we go, ladies and gentlemen.
12.
And, you what, sorry?
12 minutes.
Already?
Yeah. Well,
flies, doesn't it?
12 minutes left.
It's mad.
12 minutes. Yep. 2048 is the time.
Okay.
So, what should we do today? Anything to do with word association with football and the post office from start to finish?
I'll start
off with Paul
with
Scales.
Hey?
I'm going to start you off with Paul Scales.
Oh, dear.
I'll start us off with Phil Stamp.
Oh, I was just about to say that.
So that's the only two we've got.
Getting quicker next time.
That's the only two we've
That's it.
got.
That's finished, isn't it?
That's it. It's all over.
There was a Darryl Stamp.
Mind you, funnily enough, Andy Saville's a postman now, isn't he?
Oh, yes.
Is
I
it?
read Andy Saville's postman.
Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
was David Buller? David Buller was at Blues, wasn't he? Centre forward.
Who? Davey?
who?
Hang on.
Sorry, mate.
I bet Barry Fry got him. I bet he was.
Oh, he got everybody.
Gary
He got
Ball.
everybody. He got everybody.
Gary Ball.
No, Gary Ball. Was it Gary Ball?
Gary
Yeah,
Ball.
Gary
Ball.
Ball.
Oh, yeah,
Centre forward
B-U
long
double L.
there.
Yeah. That's right, yeah.
Yeah, he's a postman as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
So I was going to say you wouldn't see a bull in a post office.
No, you see one in the China. You'd see one in the China shop.
Ooh. Postman Pat Jennings, postage pesky
Do
solido.
you remember Iffy on Eura? Do you remember the striker, Richard, with Iffy on Eura?
Yes.
If you know.
What about Jiffy on Eura?
Jiffy. Oh no!
That's a good one. What about Sacco?
Yeah.
Sacco.
I've got one. You ready?
Go on.
Parcello.
Parcello, love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh,
That's good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, they're flying in. We've got Parcel, Desailly, Stephen Carr, Cheswick, good decided the rest of the people left out, Bernard, Clarkey, Martin, Dryden, Wardy, Rennie. I mean, that's a team in itself, isn't it? Sabs and Mouldy. Yap Stamp. Utah.
Yeah.
Letter Frank Lampard. Frank, Letter Frank, you get it? Frank in the letter?
Yeah.
Hot to get there.
No.
I'm not sure what Siobhan means with hers.
I don't know. I don't know what. I'm not going to say that one, just in case.
I can't say that one.
No. Okay, so just to let everybody know, we've got another shirt that's been donated by Boyle Sports, and it's on our group page today. To have a go at winning it, it's going to cost you £2. £2. So get onto the page and have a look at that, and all money is going to our charity. Thank you very much.
All the money goes to charity, mate, every single week.
Yeah, there we go.
Monday morning, doing it all for charity. Right, we've got Leroy Letter, Messi missed post.
That's not a bad one, Leroy Letter. That's decent.
Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
I can see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Premium bonds.
Yeah, that's the winner. That's the winner for me.
Michael Parcell. Can't keep on.
Quick question, Richard. Who's the best manager you ever played for in your career?
Probably the best manager would be Graham Souness, because he was totally unexpected what I was going to be. But probably, I've got to say Terry Cooper, because he's probably defined my career, taking me on loan to Exeter from Bristol Rovers, playing me as a left winger where I was, then bring me to left back, then centre half, and then obviously bring me up to Blues as well. It's just where we had that sort of bond where he had a lot of faith in what I did, you know, and that goes a long way. So
yeah,
probably I'd say Terry Cooper, but the high profile one's got to be Graham Souness. But Terry Cooper, I always thank him for what he's done for me.
Yeah, sure. And who was your football idol growing up as a kid?
It was John Robertson. He used to be at Forest.
Yeah.
Forest.
Yeah.
It's a great.
I see him quite a lot. When I first moved up to Nottingham, I used to see him all the time on a Saturday night. He used to be out with some of the Forest lads and that, and he was my proper hero. I mean, what age? I must have been 10 when they won the Champions European Cup. And I always used to have my tape. I used to wear my tape outside my socks like he did.
Yeah.
Used to have that, and how he used to run, and he wasn't quick. He just used to cross balls, and and he was right-footed. He used to cross his balls left-footed, and he was right-footed. Take penalties right-footed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I still see him now. He's such a nice bloke, you know. But what a player he was. What a player.
Yeah. Excellent,
Yeah.
The side they had, wasn't it, then, when they won the European Cup? It was a great side, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You see the players. Have you seen that? I believe in miracles. You've seen
the
that
Forest
about it when they win it. It's fantastic. You've got to see
Chris
it. It's on
Brown
Sky, I
played
think.
this.
If I'm allowed to say that. Yeah, it's really good to watch. Yeah. It's like a documentary. We went to watch it at the cinema when it first came out. A few of us got invited, and it was about an hour and a half, but you never even looked at your phone or anything because it was so good to watch.
Great films, yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're into football, you know, and how they did it, it was unbelievable. Like, you know, some of the quotes with Brian Clough and what have you were fantastic.
Richard, did you have any dealings with? Have you ever had any dealings with Trevor Francis?
Only we had his son at playing for us at Tamworth.
Oh, right.
But I never had any dealings with him playing wise. But quick story: we had one pitch. We had to drive from Tamworth to a local pitch, and like his son had been with back 3 weeks. He used to come watch training, Trevor Francis, and like turned into the training grounds. One pitch, and you see his car there, big Merc or whatever it was. You pull round, walk onto the pitch to get everything sorted out. There was a family camping in the middle of the pitch. They bought a tent the night before. They had a tent up in the middle of the bloody pitch.
No.
So we had to be nice. They took it all down, and you think, no, you've got Trevor Francis watching his training, and we've got a tent on the middle of the
That was so Chris Brown in the middle of that.
That's about the dealings I had with him.
Okay, loads more coming in.
Go on,
We've
Nick.
got message back. Kevin Bond, second class Jensen. Joe Royal Mail. Ooh, clever.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, good one. I like that one.
Check and Doy. We've got Check back again.
Check and do.
Phil Stamp, Special Dealy, Ivory Alibola.
I can see that.
Frankie Machine Lampard. Frankie Machine LeBooth. Yep.
I do like
Gareth Mail.
Zola.
Counter attack. I like it. I like it.
Zola return to sender. Zola return to sender. Good one.
What about Shelf Ramsey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, clever.
Good one.
Jiffy Floyd Hasselbank. Richard, Auntie Linda wants to know who was the last out of the shower.
Who's the last?
Yeah.
If you still had the big communal baths, it would have been me. We used to love being in them big baths, just sitting in there chatting.
Yeah.
Looking back, it probably wasn't very healthy.
No. Mind you, I suppose you did a lot of bonding.
Paul Marden used to have a bit of time in there,
Who's
grooming
that?
himself.
Yeah. Was he a groomer?
Paul Marden used to like grooming himself and getting ready for after training. Yeah, good looking lad he was.
Ray Hobro's question asking on Auntie Linda's behalf. So there we go. He tore the Franca. That's a clever one.
That's a clever one.
Yeah, it is.
That is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Frank Robbery.
Ribery, yeah.
That's a good one.
Week after week after week.
What about Jerry Till instead of Gill? Jerry
Till.
Till.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Because he's listening, that is.
Robbie Package.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very good.
Nicola Parsons. I don't get that one. Nicola Parsons. No. Anybody get that one?
No, I don't know who. No,
Sorry, Mandy.
No, I don't know. No, sorry, no,
That one.
Nick, where's the time gone? Nick, where's the time gone?
I don't know. It's
Floyd.
27. What can I say? Richard, thank you so very much from myself, the team here, the backroom staff, and everybody listening tonight for joining us, giving you an hour and a half up on a Tuesday night.
Really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure. Frank, after long quadru.
Oh, Q.
Q.
Yeah.
Q.
And you know what else we've proved doing this on a Tuesday? You especially, Nick, you've proved that you can do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke.
Don't ever say I'm in Stoke. I am not in Stoke.
Well, not far, are you?
Oh,
I'm far enough, I can't smell the place.
Don't say
Oh, okay,
that.
fair enough. Where are you? Is it ST postcode?
What?
Is it ST postcode? Where are you?
You're Toxita.
He's in
Oh,
Tox
sorry.
here.
Yeah, it's posh here. We go to the bath to have a wee in the sink.
Yeah, he's in the posh bit. Believe
Okay,
me.
you can do it on a cold Tuesday night, not far from Stoke. I'll rephrase it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Postman Pat Vanden Howell, that's a great one. Kirk Evans, great show, great guest. Robbie Packin from Jason McDonough. Well, what can I say? Sponsored by Boyle Sports. Thank you very much for all your support that you give us all through the year. With our friends at SAS Autos, Borsley Labour Club and the Garrison Coffee Company, this has been the Tilton Talk Show. First one of 2021. My goodness me, 2021. Think about that, guys, because I can remember my English teacher when I was at school you're talking about, how you're going to have all this technology in 2020. And I thought, that's miles away, 2020, in the year 2000. And that's been and gone now 20 odd years ago. So, blimey, it's scary.
It is, isn't it?
Anyway, thanks for all the birthday messages, lovelies. Richard, thank you very much. Mark, thank you very much indeed.
That's okay.
Bless
Hey,
you.
hang on. That's not fair.
And Paul Hipkiss, the savant that is, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.
Mr. Brown.
Good night.
And from myself, Keith Robinson. On to Man City we go. Let's see if we can come back into the next round. Good night. God bless.
Hello.
Richard, and take care.
Good night.
And
Good night.
stay
Bye.
Stay safe.